So when we left off at the previous video creating a column chart for our concession stand, we ended up with something that looked about like this. And it was a simple column chart where we graphed the quantity of these products that we sold at our concession. So what we can do here is go in and add a few more titles, give it a little more descriptive look to it as far as the y-axis and the x-axis, and maintain our title here. So what we can do is, we started here at Insert to put in a chart, but once we're selected on Chart, we can come in and take a look at the chart tools that pop up and click on Design. And there's lots of different things we can choose here, a lot of presets, but what we'll do right now, and you can take a look at these on your own time, but right now we want to go to Quick Layout and find one that'll give us our title at the top and then axis titles for the Y and the X. So let's see what we can come up with here. That one right there would do it. It includes a legend, but we can delete that. So let's select this one right here. So that's 3 over and 3 down. And so now we can put an axis title here and here, and then we maintain our title at the top. And we don't need a legend because we only have one series of data right now, and that is the quantity of products sold. So let's go ahead and select it and press delete. And now we can go ahead and put in our titles here. And these are the products. And over here, quantity sold. Pause the video if you need to. Get that completed, come on back, and then we will move this chart into its own page. So after you've got that, and by the way, you are welcome to experiment a little bit with it if you like, as far as lots of different things you can do, but I'm going to keep this video pretty simple right now. Just get to the main features of creating charts. Now, if we right-click, we have the option right in the middle of moving the chart. And right now it's an object within Sheet 2. But if we want to create its own page, we can choose New Sheet, and we can give it a name. And so this is a column chart. Column of quantity sold. And then click OK. Now we've got a nice big column chart. And notice down here, it's its own page here. There was our completed worksheet. In fact, what you can do here, this is sheet number 2. Right now we could rename that. So let's right click on that, choose rename, and call that Concession. And we can enter that in. And then we've got some other pages here. If you want to get rid of a page, you right click and click delete. And then you can also move these. So rewind, rewatch any of that you need to, and then we'll move on and do some more charts. Let's do another column chart, this time for total sales. Select our values, insert, column chart, and this time we could go ahead and go right to design. And we liked this choice right here, so let's go ahead and do that. And then we can go ahead and let's do our titles first, and then we'll go ahead and select some data. So we can call this one Concession Sales Football on 8/28/17. We only have one series of data, so we don't need that. Our axis title here is going to be Products Sold. And over here we can put sales in dollars. Pause if you need to, and then we'll come in and put some labels to the x-axis here. Right click, select data, horizontal category axis labels, click edit, select our products, click OK. Click OK again. We'll go ahead and leave this as Series 1. Click OK. And there we have it. And we can clearly see which product contributed the most in total sales. Yes, the column that is the tallest, which comes in at over $1,400 in hamburger sales. Candy was the least. And then second was nachos, the all-popular nachos. And then we can right-click, move that chart, make it a new sheet like we did with that previous column chart. And we'll call this, let's call this Concession Sales. And there we go. Next up, we'll see if we can combine these two in a side-by-side column. Next, let's see if we can combine the two elements of the quantity sold and the total sales into one column chart. So we started by just graphing the quantity sold. And then next we made one for total sales. And so quantity sold looked like this one here. And then we did the sales here. And now what we want to do is see if we can combine the two of quantity and sales to look like this. Quantity sold and sales amount per product. So what we have here, let's take a look at our color bars and see what we're dealing with here. Blue is the quantity sold. And the orange, in this case here, is the sales amount in dollars. So we have hot dogs here, so it looks like we sold about 225 to 250 hot dogs here for a total sales amount of about $500. And so we have that for each of our products. So the blue is the amount sold, the orange is the total sales, price times quantity. So the orange is the price times the quantity, the blue is just the quantity. So here, we see that the most money was made on hamburgers, but it wasn't the highest volume, highest quantity of a product sold. That was over here for drinks. So drinks, we sold a lot of drinks, but didn't make near as much money as some of these other products, such as nachos and hamburgers. Well, that's a real simple reason why. It's because these are hamburgers are more expensive than the drinks. So we'd have to sell a lot of drinks to make as much money, or as much revenue. So let's see how we can do this. So we'll start by selecting the quantity and the total sales together. I'll do that again. Just make sure you select only the values. So we're going to have two series of data for the quantity and for the sales. Insert. Chart. Insert column chart. The same selection. And there we have it. basic information right here. Chart title. Here's our series. Here's our scale. X-axis. And so we will right-click, select data, and we need to first give some labels down here on the X-axis. Edit. Select our products. And then come over to our series information where we will need to give it a name because we have more than one product here. So Series 1, edit, and the name for Series 1 is Quantity Sold. And the second series, sales amount. And we'll go ahead and put a dollar sign so we know we're talking about dollars there. And then we can click OK. Give ourselves a chart title. I'm going to cheat a little bit and go in and just copy the one that I had here. You can pause the video and put that in if you like. So blue is quantity sold, and orange is the sales amount. And then the last step is to go ahead and make that a separate page. Right click, move chart. And we're going to name that quantity and sales amount, as I've done here on our little demo one. Quantity and sales amount. And there you have it. Side by side column chart of the quantity sold and the sales amount for each of our products. Just give us another visual representation to help us do a little bit of business analysis of a concession stand involving multiple products.